Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up? Episode 53 of the Motocross Supercross podcast. We are going into round 16, Salt Lake City, Utah. 2 more races left of this Supercross series. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
I'm sad.
Sad? Why are you so sad?
Man, 2 more races. This is upsetting, just not being able to, I don't know, man.
Hey, motocross is right around the corner, all right?
I know.
But no, I'm sad too because I just enjoy Supercross. I like,
so much.
Yeah, it's just nice how it's all like condensed and it's in the stadium. I really like that atmosphere versus like, when you go to the motocross track, it's like you only like can kind of see like one section, and then when you're watching it on TV, they can only show like one section. They miss a lot. There's a lot to be missed in the motocrosses, especially with there's, more riders and everything. But Supercross that's why I think Supercross is just so dope. It
is. It's dope, as you just said. And I don't know. I'm just going to miss it. But, there's going to be another year come around. So no biggie. It's just, like you said, we've been enjoying it so much that I just don't want it to be done.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But first, before we get into all that, we got a special guest on the line today. Why don't we just jump right to that?
All right, let's do it.
All right, now joining us on the MXSX podcast, you've seen him in the 450 class, privateer rider, running all these rounds with his teammate Michael Acaden, number 282, Bubba Pauli. Welcome to the MXSX podcast.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. So you are in the car right now. I'm just guessing you're traveling to Utah?
Yeah, I left my house in St. Louis, Missouri about 2 o'clock and just north of Kansas City right now, headed out to Salt Lake City for the next round.
That is crazy. So that really doesn't give you much time to like practice or, really do much during the week.
Yeah, I mean, we get used to it and you do what you can to make it work. I was able to ride yesterday afternoon and then we rode this morning before we left, and we'll actually get to ride press day this week, early Friday morning before the event. So,
that's awesome.
So that'll help. But normally when we get back home on the East Coast rounds, I can get a good couple of solid days of riding and training in between the races and still have enough to be rested. But these last couple of races with the travel, it's tough to try to stay rested and get good riding and everything in too. But like I said, we do what we can to make it work.
That's right. You guys have got to be putting so many miles on that Sprinter van because it's you two just driving out to every single round of the Supercross series.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much riding all the rounds, right? You guys are driving to all of them?
Yeah, drove to every race this year except for Seattle. We actually flew out there in the privateer journey. Ted Parks took our bikes and we got a flight out there and a flight back. But yeah, I've been on the road to every other race and looking down at my odometer, got to right at 20,000 miles on this thing so far this year. So got another 4,000 or so left when we'll be back home.
That's incredible. I got mad respect for you guys doing all that. Being privateers, obviously you have other support from like the TSX Productions and a bunch of other sponsors, but just having that willpower to just say, you know what, we're going to each race this year. That's pretty respectable.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's you gotta be in it yourself first, and then you gotta have people helping you out also. So, you pretty much nailed it. Yeah, we got a lot of good sponsors helping us out, and but at the end of the day, if you don't want to bust your butt and get out there and do it yourself, it ain't gonna happen.
That's right. All right, so you've been to all the tracks this year, which you've been in the snow in Minneapolis. Which we on this show we said it shouldn't be much of a factor, it's a dome race, but actually it turns out like Kyle Peters, crashed, not even just trying to go to the race. What was that like, going just like being in that, and how messed up was the snow and the path to get up there? Because it seems like it was pretty dangerous out there.
Yeah, it was crazy. We actually got there to the stadium right as the snow started coming down, so it wasn't too big of a deal for us. When we went in, and we actually stayed in the bottom of the stadium all day. I didn't go back outside till we went to load up after the main event. And when we went outside to load up, I was trying to ride my bike up the street to get to my van, and I had to have somebody push me because they had the snow cleared off it, but it was all ice underneath. So it was pretty wild. And getting back to my buddy's house where we stayed at that night was a little stressful. I was a little bit more stressed doing that than racing, honestly.
Yeah,
I bet, man. Yeah, I bet that's gonna be crazy, and you guys have to like meet so many people and go through like so many resources just to be able to make it through a weekend. And I can't even imagine just having the balls to do that. Just so mad props for sure. We really, that's amazing what you guys do, just to put in yourself pretty much on the line every weekend, and then just from race to race. That's great. That's so respectful.
So is that how you normally do it? Do you try and find someone to room with, or do you get hotels, or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you try to cut costs when you can. I try not to cut any corners, but cutting costs, I go for that. So if it's something we absolutely need, I'm not big on sleeping in the van the night before a race, but the night after the race, I'll sleep in the van. So yeah, in most places, you get to know people, you got family, friends, or whatever, in different cities. If they got a room available, crash with them. But if it's somebody maybe you're not too comfortable with, you want a good night's rest, you better just work up and pay the hotel. So for the most part, it's been pretty well this year. Haven't had to get a whole lot of hotels, so it's not every weekend type of deal. Good.
And okay, so we talked about the snow in Minneapolis. What about this Seattle mud? What was it like? We saw it on TV, and it just looked like a whole different like event. It didn't even look like the Supercross that we've seen.
Yeah, it was something else, that's for sure. I think the only other muddy Supercross like that I've been in is Las Vegas a couple years ago. Imagine that in the desert, right?
Oh yeah.
But no, I actually kind of enjoyed racing in it because it was just a totally different thing. It was hard, but it was just a whole nother deal. It wasn't even like a normal event. So, and I ride in the mud quite a bit at home. So, in the springtime, so it wasn't too big of a deal for me. Cleaning the bikes and trying to make sure everything was in order after that was the harder part. But I mean, it was a heck of a workout. Unfortunately, we didn't make the main event that night, but I still had some really good strong points there. So that was awesome to see some of those things come through. So if I showed up and didn't have to clean my bike or anything, it would have been even better. But unfortunately, that part kind of drug it down.
So are you your own mechanics then too, or do you have mechanics?
Yeah, and I'm the rider, driver, mechanic. I pretty much do it all ourselves. So, of course, I got people here and there that help me at the races, with the pit board and push my bike to the line and all that. But, as far as the mechanics and cleaning the bike and everything, I pretty much do all that myself. I do everything except for, the detailed motor work stuff. I got a guy that helps me out at home at Route 15 Cycle, so it's cool to have him the last couple of years. I haven't had to do much of my own motor work lately, so that's been awesome. Yeah,
that's anything helps, huh?
Definitely.
What about the driving situation? How do you and Michael divide that?
I like to drive. It's kind of weird. I get really bored and I don't like sleeping in a car, so I like to do a lot of the driving myself. But like last weekend, it was just Michael and I that went out to Boston and back, and that was an 18-hour drive. I picked him up in Louisville on my way, and which is about 4 hours from my house. So
who's driving right now?
Pretty close to even. So taking turns, and we drove all straight back after the race. So he slept first, and then I drove, and then we swapped positions, and he drove the graveyard shift, I guess some people call it.
Who's driving right now?
I got the steering wheel last 325 miles or so.
So what do you guys do? You listen to music, or you listen to like relaxing like sounds, or what gets you through these trips? You watch movies?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. The unfortunate part is my radio broke in my van a couple weeks ago, so We've been listening to music on a little Bluetooth speaker,
Oh,
and
no.
it's been working. Not the ideal situation, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
What up? Before we get done over here, okay? So coming into this championship, what are some of your goals? Obviously, coming into A1, what's it like to be Bubba Pauli preseason? What's going through your head? What are some of the things that you guys prepare for, or what's yours? Yeah, the general goals.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to do better than you've done before, so that's kind of what I try to do. Not too big steps at once, just, hey, if I could be better than I was last year at A1, that's good. And then the next week be better than I was at round 2 the year before, that's good. And when you have good races throughout the season and you're doing better than that, and there's something good coming. So that's kind of the way I've been looking at it the last couple of years. But you gotta put the work in. You gotta try to be ready for everything that's going to happen year after year doing Supercross. You know what it's going to be like, and so you just try to prepare yourself the best you can. And anything can happen at any time, though. So it's a crazy sport, but yeah, like I said, I just try to be better than I was the year before at each race, and if you're doing that, constantly get better. I believe you're on the right track.
Awesome. So you've made a couple appearances on our Instagram, and which is just what we get from watching it on TV. And in Indy, in the LCQ, you got pretty sketchy through the whoops there, and somehow, I've seen a bunch of people get sketchy like that and crash really hard, but you pretty much saved it. I was wondering if you could just take us through that moment and just kind of what was going through your head right there as you were I think you were running top 2 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a pretty good start in that race. In the heat race was actually a pretty good heat race for me. I was one spot out. I was 10th in the heat race. So I had the first gate pick going into the LCQ, and it's my first time this year having the first gate pick in the LCQ. So feeling pretty confident. Ripped out a good start, and me and I think it was Carlin Gardner we were side by side going into the second turn, and I did a different rhythm than him and almost landed on him, and I kind of had to go high in the turn, and I ended up out of the main line in the whoops that had a groove beat in them pretty good. So unfortunately I got out of rhythm, mistimed a whoop, and ended up jumping down in the bottom, and then it kicked me out, and it was a huckabuck thing, I guess you'd say. So it was kind of wild. You just try to stay grounded and keep moving forward. Unfortunately, I got in the tough blocks and went down pretty easily, but it would have been one of those things. I would have stayed up. I knew I had a faster lap time than everybody else in that LCQ going into that race and in the heat races. So it was kind of a bummer to go down right there like that with a good start and a good position and feeling good on the bike, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, well, you definitely got some TV time out of it. They slowed it down for everyone, so that's got to be cool having people call you, be like, "Yo, I saw you on TV."
Yeah, it's sometimes when it's for something like that, it's not super pumped
yeah,
up,
not for the right stuff. Exactly.
When you have a good ride and you get a replay or something, it makes you feel pretty good knowing everybody saw it.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again for joining us. We wish you guys the best of luck this weekend in Utah. Have you had a chance to look at the track map probably?
Yeah, I saw the track map a couple times this week, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good. I got some obstacles that I'm excited to go racing, and it was good there last year. The dirt was good, and the stadium was cool, so excited to be back.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's got a really cool layout. It looks like pretty busy. Lots of stuff going on. Little sand section in there too. And I also wanted to get your opinion on the new starting pads. What's your take on those for this year?
I kind of got the mindset where whatever the promoter and the race organizers are doing, you got to learn to like it because it is what it is. So, to be honest, going into the season, I wasn't super pumped on them, but like I said, I learned to like them, and I think it's good. It kind of levels the playing field a little bit. Maybe a good starter doesn't have quite the edge anymore, but a bad gate pick isn't as harmful now as it once used to be. So, is what it is.
it's still a bad pick.
Well, also we've heard a lot of riders have mentioned your name and how they ride your Supercross track, and they just say it's like a pretty awesome place. How long has that track been there, and what kind of went into deciding you're gonna really go all out and make a sick track like that?
And I've had a track in my backyard since I started riding. Of course, it started off as a dirt circle, and then my dad let me start playing on the tractor. Got in trouble the first couple of times I was doing it because I was about 10, 11 years old, so he didn't really like that. But started digging holes and building jumps myself. So it slowly started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I had a pretty good track out there in 2013, I think. And then a friend of mine that owns an excavating business in St. Louis brought some more equipment out. We moved some more dirt and got a good base built. And I've been maintaining and building it, changing it, and everything myself. I'd say about 90% of that track was built with a 40 horsepower tractor and a loader on it. So
Wow.
a lot of time and a lot of hours and wear and tear on that little tractor. So it's now fortunately I got a skid loader to operate it on, but that would have been nice to use about 5 or so years ago. But we make it work, and I build what I feel like I need to work on. So that's awesome to have that in your backyard and being able to have the freedom to just kind of build track how you want it and what you need to work on.
Do you ever go to like the track maps and look at them and then try to build something similar to it that you think you're gonna maybe take advantage of in the race, or maybe you need to work on?
Yeah, that's actually a good question that I don't think I've ever heard before, but it's always in my mind. I'll occasionally look at the track maps and kind of see what variation obstacles are there. I try to build my track at home with just about every obstacle we're going to encounter and different rhythm options we can do. So, I'll look at a track map and say, okay, hey, we possibly might be doing this line. So, I'm going to ride my track a little bit different this week. Like going into this weekend, we got 2 whoop sections back to back. So I rerouted one of my whoop sections to go backwards. And then kind of skipped out on the start straight section. So I was running 2 whoop sections back to back, just to kind of get a little bit more of that whoops, turn, whoops type of vibe going on. So
that's great.
And then if there's something at the race that I didn't feel very comfortable on, I try to add it in and just change it up. Keep it fun, but make sure I got a good variety of obstacles. So
that's awesome for sure.
No excuse to not do something at the race.
Yeah, Bubba, is there anyone you would like to thank? Any of your sponsors?
Yeah, we got a ton of sponsors helping us out this year. But I can't remember them all, but TXS Productions for sure. They stepped up this year and helped out a lot. To make Michael and I's team effort come together. Outlaw Motorsports in Harrisburg, Illinois. Those guys helped me out with the bike and stuff this year. That was the first thing that came together. Actually, the last couple of years we've been working together, so that's been awesome. Got Top Secret Designs doing all our graphics and everything. Great guys over there. St. Louis Tattoo Company, the Black Sock Mafia, Skills Racing, doing all our gear and everything. That's been so sick this year. The last couple of years for me. Route 15 Cycles, Rhino Power, Pirelli Tires, JM Racing, Novik Gloves, CD Boots, Amsoil, Yoshimura, Thick Wicks, Recluse, Dirt Tricks, Dragon Goggles, No Toil, Mica Metals, my mom and dad, everything they've done growing up. And,
of course.
Definitely, I don't think any racer would be where they were without their parents. So,
100%.
There's a lot of good people helping us out. So, big shout out to anybody that I forgot to.
That's great.
Definitely.
And is there anywhere people can go? Do you sell T-shirts or anything, or if people want to donate to your cause or anything? Is there any kind of link available for people to do that kind of thing?
Not really. I did sell some T-shirts a while back. TXS Productions has got some apparel and stuff for sale on their page and all that. But for the most part, I don't like to take stuff or take in stuff from a personal side of things. If somebody really insists on helping me out, I like to do that. But, I try to go racing on, sponsor stuff from business side of things. That's kind of important to me. If somebody they got a business, they want to stick a name on something, I'd love to represent something. But, sometimes at the end of the day, extra cash helps. If somebody stops by at the race or something, I might not turn it down.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us on the MXSX show. Good luck this weekend. I hope you guys do great. Looking at the track, it looks fun. So, just good luck, and pass our good luck on to Michael, too.
Thank you. I'll be sure to let him know. Thanks for your time, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Good luck.
Thanks, Bubba.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
All right, so there's Bubba Pauli right there. That's dude, that's just two guys just determined,
That's crazy. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we don't live it, but we know kind of what's about. But just to hear it from like their mouth, like they're literally driving right now to race. It's
2 days of practice. They practice, what do you say, Monday, and then, or like that, whatever, 2 days. They get to practice 2 days. They work on their own bikes. They're driving. They're staying with friends. They're in the van. They stay in the van sometimes if they have to. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, these two guys are doing whatever they have to do to make it happen. So, mad props to them, and best of luck, for real. I wish there was some type of like a better program to help these guys that are trying to make it, because they put a lot of effort, man. That's a lot. That's a lot, especially if you're doing your own mechanic, you're being you're providing your own money type thing. Obviously, you're getting help, but that's insane. That's insane. Mad props. I take my hat off for that.
Yeah, that's cool. And they're just living that life as the a professional supercross racer. In a different city every weekend. Yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, on the road during the week.
That's right. So we talked a little bit about that track map. Like he said, he put 2 whoops. He changed his track around to do the back-to-back whoop section. That is definitely something we see here before that finish line. But dude, this stadium is pretty big. This is where they did like the World Games and stuff. A big open stadium. I haven't checked the weather yet. I'll look it up right now, but it's like 70 degrees. Let's see, Saturday, high of 81, low of 49. There's like a 20% chance of rain, it looks like. So it shouldn't be that bad. Kind of humid. Actually, not that humid, 21%. Florida's like 100% all the time. This is going to be a pretty exciting weekend, just we're coming down, 2 races left. Utah, Vegas. We're on the West Coast. We're going to get to see all the West Coast riders again.
Yeah, we get to close that West Coast championship and see what what's it going to be.
Yeah, and speaking of that West Coast, we got some injuries we got to report on. Mitchell Oldenburg tore his ACL and his MCL in a practice crash this week. And he got like 6th place in Seattle too, so that really sucks because he was running pretty good on that West Coast series. That's just crazy because, they trained so hard just to make it to the weekend and show their talents on the weekend, and then they don't make it. And yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, here, I have the updated points now. Mitchell Oldenburg he's in 12th in the points, 75 points. The top 10, the 10th position, Hayden Melross, he's got 81, so he was only 6 points behind that top 10. So that kind of sucks that he's going to miss, the remaining rounds of this, and then some motocross too, because that's, a month away, less than a month away.
Yeah, 25 days, as Mr. Muskin said.
Speaking of Muskin, since you just brought it up real quick, that video that we put on Instagram of the crash.
Okay.
Where Ralph is like, like, Eli cannot afford to make one oh my God, he made a mistake. It's just so funny. He was like, he cannot make a mistake, right? And then boom, that's when it happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I remember now.
And then Tomac's just like, that was like a joke. He's like, it was just a joke.
Just give him the thumbs. I was like, cool, man. Cool.
Dude, those two coming back together this week. That's the hype. That's the 100% hype this week.
There's gonna be a lot of heat going on. I don't know if I don't think Thomas got that that bad boy in him, like he was gonna come out and just take him out type thing. But if he has the chance, he's gonna do it for sure.
Yeah, well, like Tomac throwing his grip in Marvin's face is like about as bad as he gets,
He dropped the mic.
He's pretty clean. He passed everybody so clean. And he passed a lot of people in the heats and the mains. He was just so it's just funny that happened. But I think if he has the opportunity to, maybe tap Marvin's front tire, he's definitely gonna do it. He better at least. Yeah. That's what I would do. But that's just me talking. So what do you think coming into this round in 16 Salt Lake City?
Well, I have a couple of other updates. Justin Bogle, we had an update on him. He's been cleared to start riding again. He's been out since pretty much San Diego when he fractured his vertebrae, I believe, his L2.
Yeah,
right?
he broke his leg too. He got landed on by LeMay.
Yeah, so he was gonna start riding.
Or his arm. I think he broke his arm actually, not his leg.
Yeah, this week coming up, and it was like his arm. You're right, and I guess he's gonna start riding, the turn track over at the Ricky Carmichael's place, and then he's gonna move up to the motocross track. But he's cleared to ride, and he'll be expected to be back with in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross season.
Yeah, so that's good for him. Sucks he got hurt, but good he's back. Sometimes when people, get injured so many times, like they just call it. So I'm happy that he's coming back to race because he missed the beginning half of the Supercross season too with injuries, and so that's good. Then
another news that we have going on, and I kind of said it. Josh Hill is gonna fill in for Cooper Webb for the remainder of the 2 rounds. So it was something that it was obvious that it was going to happen. So that's cool to see. Hopefully he has better results this week or this 2 coming weekends. And I don't know. We'll see how he'll do with Justin Barcia, his teammate.
That's right. And so Tomac, whenever him and Marvin were doing that presser, he said they should deduct points from Marvin, and not fine him or whatever. And the reason he's doing that is because he's 30 points down, 29 points. He's 29 points behind Marvin right now. So he's got to take him out this week and make him DNF and then do the same in Vegas if he wants to get second place in the points.
Yeah, I'm with you. Another news, Enzo Lopez is going to fill in and out of Trade Yajimura Suzuki. He will be stepping up for Kyle Peters since he's going to be going for surgery after the
Vegas.
After Vegas. So he'll be stepping in for Kyle Peters in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross date. So
they should make him step up for the last 2 rounds of Supercross.
But I think Kyle Peters is going to still be racing. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right, yeah. Well, he won't be racing this week because we're on the West Coast, but, yeah, we'll see him back in Vegas. So, yeah, that is cool. That is cool.
Yeah, so he's stepping up. He'll be racing or making his pro debut. He's a Brazilian rider. He's making his pro debut in Hangtown in May 19th.
That's awesome. So, we're also going to see the Racetrack Supercross guys make their return.
Yep.
So that will be cool. We'll get to see, Josh Hill, we'll get to see him, not in the mud. So we'll actually get to see what he can do. Blake Wharton just had a terrible time in the mud. So we'll also see what he can do because he also had a bad showing in, Indy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It sucks. The season's winding down, but it's kind of about that time. It's starting to just feel like it's coming to an end. So
yeah, we're coming out to a good tournament, or not tournament, but championship. We have Plessinger in first place with 177 points. Cianciarulo stepping up, looking for that first win, man. He's looking for that first win of the season with 160 points. There's only 17 points behind. It's still anyone's game. They got 2 races left, you know. I don't think anything is decided yet.
And Justin Hill, we'll get to see what he can do. If he went to the 450s and he was just dominating. He was smoking everyone. He had like fastest lap times and he just looked so fast. And
yeah, he looks so good.
He had some like in Tampa. He was running good until he kind of took himself out on, I think it was Marvin's back tire before the finish line there. But we'll see if he can step it up these last 2 weeks. I think it's definitely possible. And yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? This is the end. It's put up or shut up.
Yeah, we're coming down to the end of the season, which is kind of sad, because everybody loves Supercross. But Motocross right around the corner, and then the sooner you know it, we're back at Supercross, and it's gonna be an even better season. It's gonna be great.
That's right. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add to this one?
No, man. I'd like to thank Bubba Pauli for making the time to get on air with us.
Yes.
All of our listeners, and go check out all the videos that we put up at the MXSX Podcast Instagram. Thank you, Adam, for having me here. And that's it, man. That's all I got.
All right. Talk to you later. Peace.